Hey guys, today is day 8 of your 30-day journey to healing, and today I want to talk to you about triggers and coping skills. So what are your triggers? Get your journals or your notebooks out and let's talk about it. So what is it that typically happens right before you become sad or right before you become anxious or angry? What's triggering that? Have you ever considered what your triggers are? So for some people, a good example might be that every time you ride past your old school, you get sad. So the emotional response is you become sad. And then after you become sad, what are you telling yourself? What are you telling yourself about yourself when you become sad after you ride past that school? For some people, it may be that you start telling yourself that you're a failure. And then after you start telling yourself that you're a failure, what does that do to you emotionally? For many people, you're going to become more sad. You're going to perpetuate that sadness. And so after that sadness has become more intensified, what are the behavioral responses that occur as a result? For some people, you may withdraw and isolate yourself and not want to be around other people. For some people, you may go home and start mistreating your loved ones once you get home because you're sad, because you don't have healthy coping skills. And, I'd like to talk to you about some coping skills because coping skills are different for everybody. Your coping skills may work well for you, but may not work at all for someone else. So, but another good example for triggers would be maybe you suffered some childhood abuse, and every time you go to your parents' house, you become angry. And you don't understand why you become angry, even though the abuse hasn't happened in maybe 20 or 30 years maybe. But you may get angry every time you go to your parents' home, and you may not really understand what that's about. Well, it may be that you're remembering that anger, that abuse when you get there, and it's perpetuating anger, or it's triggering the anger, and then once you become angry, what are you telling yourself about yourself? Maybe you're telling yourself that somehow you could have prevented the abuse, or maybe you're telling yourself that you were the cause or the reason that the abuse occurred, that somehow it happened because of something you did. You have to really pay attention to what's triggering those mood changes, what's triggering those symptoms that you're having. And that way you'll be able to better manage and cope with them. Okay, so understanding is key. And you can always see a mental health professional if you are having trouble figuring out what your triggers are. You can always go to carmelbrowncounseling.com and email me. Or you can always contact my reception team at 618-717-2732 if you'd like to sit down and try and identify your personal triggers. So, with the abuse, like I said, you may be telling yourself that somehow you caused it. And then the behavioral response might be that you start to be disrespectful towards your parents. You start to insult them. You start to mistreat them. So, a lot of the times, there's thoughts and there's feelings and there's behaviors that occur with these triggers. So talking with someone is very important in understanding what's going on and what that whole process is about. Okay, so let's talk about coping skills. Like I said earlier, coping skills are different for everybody. What works for you may not work at all for someone else. Walking, exercising, biking, swimming. There's so many different things that you can try for coping skills. For a lot of people, music works very well. I happen to love music. For some people, just taking a drive is relaxing and it helps to manage your mood. For some people, it's, I like to hike and things like that as well. Sometimes it's engaging in social activities. So your coping skills may involve you doing something alone, or it may involve you doing something with other people. Some people don't want to be around other people whenever they're trying to cope or manage something. So they may want to just listen to music or take a drive or take a hike by themselves. And for some people, they may want to call up their friends and have a night out or go out to dinner or go see a movie or something like that. So it's really important that you find out some healthy coping skills for you and make sure that they're healthy. Because some people engage in activities and behaviors that are unhealthy to cope with stress and trauma and grief, and it just causes further problems. So be very careful about the coping skills that you choose and make sure that they're healthy. Okay. Hey, I'd like to talk to you more about this. If you're interested in it, always inbox me if you have any questions or you need more details, or schedule an office visit. Hey guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day. It's hot out here. I'm out at the lake, as you can see, having a very pleasant and peaceful afternoon. My family's over there swimming somewhere, so of course they're doing what they love and I'm doing what I love. So it's been nice talking to you guys today, and I will see you tomorrow and on day 9. Enjoy the rest of your evening.